All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out here today. We appreciate that. Obviously, we got a lot of things to do in city government, but one of our responsibilities is, first and foremost, people expect us to respond to citizens, but they also expect us to anticipate as things are going to be developing in the future, and that's what we're here today to talk about. We've had a pretty warm autumn so far, certainly a warm summer, and we're going to talk about the steps that we're taking to help our most vulnerable citizens as we prepare for winter coming on here before too long. And we're gathered to announce the start of the LIHEAP season, which stands for the Low Income Heat Home Energy Assistance Program. LIHEAP has always been and it will always be a really vital program for a lot of folks in our community. What LIHEAP does is provide financial assistance to income-eligible households to help meet their home heating costs as we enter into our colder months. And some people don't realize this, but home heating expenses can be a big cost for families, especially during the coldest months. Energy bills can comprise as much as 15% or more of a low-income household's monthly income, especially in older homes that don't have enough insulation, so you get a double whammy there. So what that means, the reality of it is some families have to face the choice. Do I heat the house? Do I put food on the table? Do I buy my medicine for this month? And we all know that that's not any type of choice that anybody should have to make. Think about if you got kids in your household as well, and it's like, okay, I'm going to go to school hungry today because we can't pay the heating bill. So again, that's not a type of position we want to put people in our community in. And that's why LIHEAP is such a great program, and we're grateful for what it's done for our community. LIHEAP comes through federal funding. That's what makes this program possible. And locally, LIHEAP is administered by our Louisville Metro Community Services. So we've got two phases with LIHEAP. First phase is what we call the subsidy phase, which is November through December, and the crisis phase, which is January through March. During the 2015 subsidy phase, nearly 8,300 households were served with total approved benefits of over $1 million. And that averages out to about $125 per household, which is a one-time benefit, and it's paid directly to the heating vendor, which in our community's case primarily is LG&E. Now, as we roll out to 2016 and 17 LIHEAP season, we have two very promising enhancements to announce. Prior to this year, applicants had been required to visit the LIHEAP office twice in person, first to establish an appointment and then to return for the appointment. We're updating that, and you should expect your metro government to always streamline our processes, and this is an example of this. So we're launching a new appointment system that can be accessed by phone or online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's going to be much easier to get your appointment set. LIHEAP applicants can call 502-991-8391 or go online to louisvilleky.cascheduler.com. And the URL and phone numbers are in the press release, so you can check them out easily there. So what this is going to do, obviously, is save people time and allow them to schedule their LIHEAP appointment at their convenience without having to take off or work or make other arrangements. Second announcement is that we're expanding LIHEAP service locations from 3 sites to 6 sites. LIHEAP applications will be completed at the time of the appointment at one of the 6 locations. And here's the locations. Northwest Neighborhood Place at the Academy at Shawnee, 4018 West Market Street. The South Central Neighborhood Place, which is at 4255 Hazelwood Avenue. Neighborhood Place at Ujima Duval Education Center, which is at 3610 Bone Avenue. Bridges of Hope Neighborhood Place, which is at 1411 Algonquin Parkway. Here we are. Newburgh Community Center, East, 4810 Exeter Avenue. And the Southwest Government Center on Dixie Highway, which is at 7219 Dixie Highway. Now, in the past, a lot of people are used to going to 810 Barrett. Everybody knows we're closing 810 Barrett, so 810 Barrett Avenue is closed, and it's no longer a location this year. Okay, so these announcements are parts of our efforts to make metro government easier and more convenient for our citizens who invest in our city services with their tax money, and we will always continue to look for ways to streamline and innovate services throughout metro government. I also want to let everybody know that LIHEAP was introduced in August of this year as a performance improvement project. We call it a lean project through our Office for Performance Improvement, so we can study how to further increase the efficiency and serve customers more quickly. So I anticipate we'll have some more improvements to announce in the future. A few folks I'd like to thank. LG&E, they're obviously the largest service provider for utilities in our area, and several years ago, LG&E worked with the LIHEAP team to develop an electronic portal so pledges for assistance can be made quickly and efficiently to recipients' accounts, so thanks to LG&E. And then special thanks as well to MetroCall 311 and the Metro United Way's 211 help referral service for responding to so many LIHEAP inquiries each year. We couldn't operate this program without all the folks that are directing and helping us. I also want to thank a lot of the nonprofits and faith-based organizations, especially our community ministries, who are great partners of us and help clients and guide clients to us. I'd also like to thank the LIHEAP team, some of whom are with us here today, at Louisville Metro Community Services for making these improvements and all the hard work they do on behalf of our citizens outside of LIHEAP. These guys do just tremendous work day in and day out. Earlier this year, I asked Eric Friedlander to be the new Director of Community Services for the city. Eric has brought with him a ton of energy and a compassionate heart and a lot of enthusiastic folks on his team as well. And Eric is going to come up and share a few words with us. Please welcome Eric Friedlander.
Thank you for those kind words. I think this LIHEAP piece brings together two pieces that you champion in our community, so I want to thank you. The first is compassion. And we have to have compassion for our fellow citizens, and part of how we do that is making sure that LIHEAP is available and in a way that is accessible and in a way that we can do as efficiently as possible, because we need not only to provide that benefit, but to do it in a way that is respectful to our citizens. And so through your lean process, through those processes that you put in place, I think we have made improvements in our system. So the lean process, your compassion, those are two things I think we bring together, and I hope we do that for you because we want to please you as well, obviously. In saying thanks, I also, thank you is the theme here for me. I also want to thank a couple of people right behind me. Daryl Anneton, who is the program administrator over LIHEAP, and he has done a great job in being open to all sorts of changes, both from me and from Brandon O'Neill, who is actually directly over the LIHEAP program and has really provided some enthusiasm, some energy, some new vision for the program. And so it's been fantastic to work with both of you guys. Thank you so much. So you heard the mayor. We make these changes because we're putting more locations out there. We're using Neighborhood Place in the way that we should be using Neighborhood Place as our front door to community services, so folks can come and get services and the services that they need at a Neighborhood Place like this. Thank you, Nanette. And Neighborhood Place has been open to that. They've been open to trying new things as well. So it's been a really exciting partnership for us. So we're making it so that you don't have to come back twice. We're making it so that you can make an appointment by phone, need to make an appointment by phone, or can make the appointment online, because nobody likes to stand in lines. In government, we love to make people stand in lines. I don't know why. I know you don't. No, we don't. And that's exactly the point. This way, we can show the citizens the respect that they are due. Make an appointment, come in, we'll serve you in a way that is as quick and efficient and respectful as possible. And that's what we want to do. So, Jefferson County residents who are below 130% of the federal poverty level, to give you a ballpark on that, that means for a family of 4, the household must be below $2,633 a month, if you want to be really specific. And that's a gross number, not a net number, so before anything comes out in taxes and things like that, that's what 130% means. So the subsidy phase will begin November 1st and go through December 9th. The crisis phase will begin January 9th and go through the end of March. So it got extended last year. I don't expect it to be extended this year, but you never know. But those are the dates as of today. So that's when citizens can begin, actually they can begin using this number now to make appointments and begin using the website now to make appointments, and they should do so. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone that the mayor thanked. LG&E, all our community partners, they all have this information. They've actually started making appointments online. It actually works so far. So we're hopeful that as this process rolls out, no process is ever perfect, but we're hopeful as this process rolls out, we will have, and the citizens will experience success and feel like we are being responsive to their needs. And that's actually what government service is all about. So, what do they need to bring? What do clients need to bring? Citizens need to bring proof of household income. That can be a pay stub. It can be it's how they would prove that their income over a month, and it has to be the most recent month. They also need to bring their Social Security cards for everybody in the household, including kids, as well as their most recent either heating bill or something from their landlord that says heating's in their rent. So that's the kind of documentation that people need to bring. They should bring that to the appointment. They'll be reminded online. They'll be hopefully reminded through this system. But for residents, they need to know that. That will make it much easier when they come in. Lastly, we know this makes a difference in people's lives. And so to demonstrate that and to give you some real stories about the difference that it makes for households and individuals, we have a couple of folks here to talk about, well, what difference does it make? Because it does make a difference. And folks need to know that. And these are people and citizens that you know, your neighbors. These are people who have jobs. These are people in your community for these kinds of services that make a real and tangible difference to their households, to their kids, and to their communities. So first, I'd like to introduce Eboniae. Eboniae, if you come up and give us a few words. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. My name is Eboniae Cunningham, and I just want to say a few things about the LIHEAP program and what it has meant to my family personally. I was starting to think I had told the mayor too much of my business. It seemed like he was telling my story, but first of all, I like to think of LIHEAP as kind of like, well, a couple things, like the great mediators and kind of like I guess like a stop person or something. And it's like, it can be stressful. Like the mayor was saying, it starts to make the difference because you're like, am I going to be able to pay my LG&E, or, you know, I have to buy food, I have to pay these other bills. And like you said, if you have kids, that's the more of the dynamics that come in. So, and nobody likes to be in that position, and it's stressful. So then with a program like LIHEAP, it's like I said, the mediator, they come in and they say, like, we can work like a go-between between LG&E and between the person, the client they're helping. And then it's like the stop, like, hold on, wait a minute. The big difference between a disconnect, nobody wants to disconnect. And so therefore they were, a big help to me with supplying the funds that I needed. And also to give me a little more time, maybe till their next paycheck was coming in, or so I could receive help from other organizations. So that's where it helped. The system, I want to talk about the system. OMG. If you can Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you can, I love it. Like, I went on there and I was still waiting for something like a bunch more, like difficulties. And, it was so simple. And after I had finished, I mean, and you feel like you have more control, over your situation. You get to make decisions like, I don't like this date. Well, I want this one. I got excited because I think I had the first one. And so I felt like a pioneer of the new the new LIHEAP online system. It was just awesome. And like I said, it was so simple. And that, I didn't have to be like, okay, well, boss, I need the day off. I got to go down here and I'm not going to come back today. I might as well tell you now, I'm going to be there all day, just to get the appointment. And if you have kids, it's hard to be there with the kids and waiting just to get an appointment to come back again. So, I'm able to say that the online system is just wonderful. So that's basically, I just want to thank the LIHEAP people, for helping me and being that, like I said, it's the big difference between having your utilities disconnected and, being able to help me, like I said, until the next paycheck comes in or till I can get some help. So thank you, LIHEAP program.
Thank you. I'd also like to introduce Phyllis, who will come up. Phyllis also works in our foster grandparent program. So those of you who don't know, there are lots of volunteer opportunities at community services, and we welcome volunteers. And so if you're looking, for some place to volunteer, come to us. And Phyllis, please. Thank you.
Thank you. I have just a few words to say, but I do want to thank y'all so very much for respecting your elders, because calling makes a big difference for us standing in line. And in the cold, it's not very good for us. We already got arthritis and everything, so that's not too good. But I want to thank very much for changing the program and thinking about us. We appreciate y'all very much for all the elders of the city of Louisville and all the grannies. It's like a savior at times because people really do need it. And I just want to say thanks, but it's been rough. But we do have these 2 times of the year to look forward to, and it means a lot to us. So we thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's that time of year, and we want to make it easier and more convenient for everybody to access their LIHEAP benefits, so please help us get the word out.